Hello and what is up guys, my name is PixelPolish and welcome to Vita News issue for April 14th, 2014. I haven't done Vita News video in a while, but oh boy, what a time to do it. Today we've been literally bombarded with great news for PlayStation Vita owners, so let's see what's on the table. Soul Sacrifice Delta getting a Western release date. Freedom Wars for the West was officially announced. Oreshika, Tainted Bloodlines debuting in the Western markets for the first time, and Dead Nation Vita hitting the PSN store later this week. Let's get into the details of the latest announcements. The anticipation for the Western release of Soul Sacrifice Delta was pretty big to say the least. Today Sony announced that the game is coming out in North America on May 13th and one day later in Europe. In an interview for PlayStation Blog, Japan studio chief Alan Becker said, "It's a very large-scale expansion, but not a full-blown sequel. Soul Sacrifice Delta brings many additions and enhancements to the original title. There are new monsters based on classic fairy tales with a dark twist, more sorcerers, maps, quests, and spells. We've made many improvements to the game mechanics with dynamic maps, adaptive and more complex AI for the monsters. The spells casting system has been overhauled too. Soul Sacrifice Delta also introduces Grimm, the third faction, and tells the story of their plot against the established order and the very nature of the world. Now, good news for anyone who finished the original game is that you will be able to import your save game and continue from where you left it. For more information about Soul Sacrifice Delta, head to my previous Vita News issue covering the TGS 2014 on-stage presentations. On to the news on Freedom Wars. Japan Studio's new IP in the hunting action genre is coming to the West. There is no release date just yet, but I would say it's safe to assume it's gonna hit the store shelves later this year. When asked about the game during the interview, Alan Becker said, "The title brings chaos and order existing in a place where freedom is bought and worked for. It's a role-playing game that chucks you into the middle of a dystopian underground world where players have up to 1 million years sentence. The battles are fought as punishment and freedom is what you earn at the end of your fully redeemed sentence of 1 million years. The game is an action battle game and will include offline and online multiplayer gameplay." Freedom Wars definitely looks interesting and is high on the list of most anticipated Vita games for many platform owners. To find more about Freedom Wars, check out some detailed trailers on my channel in the PSV trailers section. Last but not least, the busy Japan studio also announced a Western release for an obscure JRPG called Oreshika, Tainted Bloodlines. I was keeping my eye on this game since I saw the very first Japanese trailer because it sure looks interesting and you cannot go wrong with the Sumie-inspired graphics style. Okami, anyone? What's interesting is that in Japan the game is also known as Oreshika 2. Why is that, you may ask? Because it's a sequel to the 1999's title released on PlayStation 1 in Japan only, where it was wildly popular. So popular in fact that it was later ported to the PSP in 2011. Back then the developers decided that the game was too Japanese for Western audience, but apparently that's no longer the case. Thankfully you won't have to import the original game, hunt down a working PS1 on eBay and learn Japanese to know what's going on in the sequel. To quote Alan Becker again, "Although the games are linked, players who have never played the original game will be able to enjoy Oreshika Tainted Bloodlines as it starts a completely new story. But if you have played the original, you'll find that all of the game's systems have been greatly expanded. Plus, you should look out for some really cool things that we've been able to do using PS Vita hardware that just weren't possible with PS1 or PSP." As you can see from all three of the announcements, it seems that Sony is no longer afraid of bringing the Japanese games to the Western markets. Companies like Square Enix or Capcom should take a hint and do the same. Not all gamers in the West are only interested in yearly installments of your Call of Duties and your Assassin's Creeds. Japanese games are quite often more inspired, innovative and difficult. Case in point, Dark Souls, a game that would never succeed in the West according to some Japanese developers. You thought that was enough of good news? Nope. Dead Nation fans that own PlayStation Vita rejoice. The portable console version of the 2010 zombie twin-stick shooter is hitting the PlayStation Store this week. Everyone who already owns the game on the PS3 will get the PS Vita version for free, and everyone else can get it as a cross-buy bundle. PlayStation 4 owners won't be getting a free Vita version of the game because obviously Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition is a different game in the series and is not a part of the cross-buy bundle. I'm so happy that I have picked this game as my welcome back gift after PSN went down for a few weeks back in 2011. Never finished the game on PS3, but I will definitely blast through it on my Vita. And that is it for this issue of In Vita News, guys. You'll find links to the articles and trailers concerning today's topics in the description. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.